Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here. So good to see all of you, and thank you for either coming live and being with us today, or for those of you who are not able to come live, we still thank you for your comments and for watching and for your likes. We appreciate them all. She's right behind me if you're looking for Piper. I know you all like to see her, but she's too close behind me here. And you'll probably see her in her bed before long. We're going to do something a little bit different today. I did this last week. I talked to you rather than reading something from Phillip, my spirit guide. And I always say all my great information comes through me. I'm just the channel. It all comes from Phillip, whether I write it as one of my articles or blogs or whatever. And so this is an article on my website, on my blog, and I put the link below if you would like to read it. I'll probably get a little more detailed in the actual article. I forgot to pull this out. So we'll also but again, I'm getting distracted here. See how our minds work? Which is what we're going to get into today, how our minds work and how we can look at that for better communication. So if you want to read the article, the link on my blog is right below. And if you prefer listening, here it is too. The blog probably goes into a bit more detail than we'll go into. We will also get a message from Phillip, my spirit guide. And as you know, this is just an oracle book. And so we just open to different pages on this book. Hello, Sheila. She says, hello, Diana. I hope you're doing well. Well, thank you. We hope you are too. We've missed you a couple of weeks now. So we're glad to see you. And Sheila says hello to everyone. And Sheila's coming in from Amsterdam. So she's a bit north of us and on the other side of the ocean. And we're always happy to see her. I'm going to get started here. Excuse me, because this is kind of a long conversation. But again, this is about better communication with those in your life. We've all had those conversations where we just want to walk away from the other person. And there are times we should walk away. Absolutely. But too often we walk away a little too easily. And believe me, I've done that in my life where I just didn't want to hear from this person anymore because I didn't like what they had to say. So I'm hoping that we can stop a little that frustration, and instead of not hearing each other, we can start to hear each other. And so that's what today is all about. So I want us to learn to communicate. You see, I'm scratching my brain here because that's part of what we're going to talk about. We don't understand why the other person thinks like they do or communicates like they do. We don't have to understand every word they say. And please note, I'm saying understand. We want to understand, even if we don't understand every word, but we don't have to agree. So what we're talking about today is how can we understand each other, whether we agree with the other person's viewpoint or don't agree. That doesn't matter. We're going to try to work for understanding. Will we understand every issue? Of course not. Will we agree with every issue? Of course not. But too often we pull away too easily. And so I'm going to ask you, before you pull away from the other human being, just stop and think about what we're just going to say today. Now, not pulling away is a lot more difficult than pulling away, because if we don't pull away, what we have to be able to do is we have to keep talking to each other. We have to listen with an open heart and an open mind. And we have to respect the other as a human being. And then we have to work to understand what the other is saying. And that requires two things. The way we process information requires how our brains work, how they're wired, and what our environment has been our whole life. Now, again, I'm going to simplify this because I want us to be able to understand it, and I'm simplifying it. We're going to talk a little bit about left brain, right brain. Now, all of us, pretty much all of us, use a mixture of left brain, right brain. I think all of us probably have to in order to function in this world. Some of us are more left brain dominant. That's the person who's more analytical. I always think of mathematicians and engineers and technicians as being more left brain dominant. Some of us are more right brain dominant, and I'm more right brain dominant. I'm the poet, I'm the writer, and we're more creative, we're more intuitive. And so what I'm going to do is just, again, simplify things. So let's take left brain person. We're going to call that person L. And person L will add 2 plus 2 and come up with 4. Simple enough, right? Very clear to the left brain dominant person, to person L. However, person R is saying, wait a minute, there's more to it than that. What's this other information? And person L is looking at you going, what information do you need? And person R, the right brain person, is looking and saying, well, I don't quite get this, but let me tell you something else. If I go 2 plus 2 and that equals 4, yeah, okay. But look at that 4. What if we turn it this way and we make a chair? And then, oh, look at that curve on the 2. We can put that on the chair and we can make a rocking chair. Oh, this is a poem. We have to go write the poem. In the meantime, person L is over here going, oh my goodness, what is that person talking about? So both are ending up frustrated and both may want to walk away. However, if we get frustrated, we end up getting angry. If we end up getting angry, there's no communication, is there? Again, we use both sides of these are our frontal lobes, the left brain, right brain I'm talking about. And we use both sides, but many of us are a little not balanced in the middle, but a little more left brain or a little more right brain. And so communication between us is a little more difficult. In today's world, especially politically, all we're doing is calling each other's names. We're not reaching out to try for understanding and communication. And let me explain a little bit more with that second part. Remember I said we need the brain, how we process and communicate depends upon our brain, how it's wired, and it also depends upon our environment. Our environment starts when actually probably starts pre-birth. It even has to do with past lives. But let's just say, for sake of simplicity, our environment starts at birth. So everything that we experienced in our environment is how we see the world. We can change that, but the way we change that is through travel, through getting to know others who are of a different environment, background, through books, some even movies and TV. But look at our environment, no matter how much we try. And fiction writers will tell you this, it's very difficult to get inside the understanding of the environment of a person different from us. For example, I'm a white woman. I'm 78 years old. Do I understand teenagers of today? Very different from teenagers of when I was a teen, way back in the early 60s. So do I understand the teens today? Not really. I'm a white woman. How can I understand the pain, the suffering, the fear of a Black man who gets stopped by a cop? I'm a white woman. How can I really get in to the mind of a woman or a man of a different culture or a totally different environment? How do I understand someone who's addicted? How do I understand, as a Palestinian, a Jewish person, or as a Jewish person, a Palestinian? How do I, as a Ukrainian, understand Russia, or Russian understand Ukrainian? How do I, as a member of this political party or an independent, understand the member of this political party? Yes, we can grow and we can expand our environment through those observations, through those getting to know people unlike us. Yes, we absolutely can do that. But if a mathematician, that left brain person, stays hidden in the math, they will never understand the poet or the poem. If the poet stays hidden in their safe environment, their safe haven, they will never understand the mathematician. Maybe we're asking too much of ourselves to love each other. I won't ask that of you. Maybe it's even asking too much of ourselves to love the spirit of the other. But is it asking too much to respect each other as human beings? Is it asking each other, even if we disagree, to just respect that you're a human being and so am I? Years ago, I used to write, one of the assignments I had was to write business articles for a newspaper in the business section. And I remember this man I interviewed, and he was starting a new company, and he said to me, I have to make this work because I know the names of every person who works here. I know their first names. I know the names of their spouses. I know how many kids they have. I didn't really understand the importance of what he was saying to me until he added, he used to be what was then called an efficiency expert. And he would go around the country to major corporations and he would tell them how many employees they could get rid of in the name of efficiency. And he got very sad and he had tears in his eyes when he said to me, they weren't people, they weren't human beings, they weren't real, they were just numbers. So I ask you again, my friends, is it too much to ask to respect each other as human beings? If I respect you, I won't drop bombs on you. If I respect you, I'll understand that we communicate differently, that our brains work differently, that we have different environments and know things differently or see things differently. We know different things. I'll respect that. And I'll do my best to hear you, to listen without judgment. And I won't try to fix you or change you. If I respect you as a human being, I will agree to disagree. I'll allow you to be you and me to be me. I won't walk away, but I will keep my anger in check. When we're upset or angry with each other, we can't hear each other. So I'll stop pushing my agenda when I realize you're not hearing me anyway. And I'll just be present. I'll just be present for myself and for you. I'll be present. You know, we expect diplomats and we expect leaders of countries to be able to come up with solutions to hear one another, not to yell at each other. But how are they any different from us when we're trying to communicate with a spouse or a relative or a friend or a coworker or a neighbor or someone who thinks politically different from us? As humans, we are all different. We think differently. We act differently. But we're all humans, and we are, as souls, all of the same spirit. So let's respect ourselves enough to respect each other. Then maybe, just maybe, we can hear what the other person is saying instead of walking away. And maybe, just maybe, they'll hear us. And maybe we don't have to agree, but maybe we'll find some common ground and those differences won't seem so big and unsurmountable. Then maybe, just maybe, countries will stop dropping bombs on each other. And maybe, just maybe, we'll stay long enough to work through those issues with our spouse or a relative or the friend or the neighbor or the coworker. or someone who votes for the other person? Easy? Mm-mm. But it starts with us. Will we be able to communicate with everyone? Mm-mm. But there are plenty who we can communicate with. Start there. Okay, we're going to get our message now. And I am hearing right. If you heard right, our intuition's in sync. If you heard left, that's a message you need to pay special attention to because it's for you. So right is page 59. Well, this does go along with our message today, doesn't it? And I got to tell you that always surprises me, and yet it never surprises me how the message here always aligns with our other message. So here we go. You see only the beauty that your eyes are open to. You hear only the greatness that your ears listen to. You feel only that which you allow to touch you. I'll read it again. You see only the beauty that your eyes are open to. You hear only the greatness that your ears listen to. You feel only that which you allow to touch you. If you heard left, you are the one who creates your life. You are the one who creates your life. Well, my friends, let me get in here and say hello. Sandra came on and says, hello, everyone. All of you have a wonderful day. And Sheila says, last day of summer in Amsterdam. We haven't, I don't think it's summer solstice today here, but I thought that was worldwide. So it may be. I'm sorry if I am not up to date here, but thank you, Sheila, for bringing us up to date. And Sandra says, respect is the key. Absolutely. Respect is the key. We don't have to like, we don't have to agree, but we have to respect another human being just because you're a human being. Sandra says, Ho'oponopono also helps me a lot if I get angry with someone. I love Ho'oponopono. Absolutely. It really is a mind changer, a game changer. Mindfulness, just practicing mindfulness is also helpful. But Ho'oponopono, it's a beautiful, beautiful practice. Absolutely. And Sheila says, thank you, Diana. Thank you. I'm so grateful you're all here. And I believe Sandra's coming in from Germany, as I recall. And she says, no, last day of warm weather. Oh, okay. Not summer solstice, but or autumn solstice. You know what I'm trying to say here. But Sheila says just the last day of warm weather. It's 80 Fahrenheit. I want to say 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Can you tell I'm an American? I think so. Oh my. Well, my friends, I am so grateful for those of you who are able to come live. I am so grateful for your questions. And I will tell you that today's information that I wanted to pass along to you really came out of discussion with two different friends I've had recently. And it just kind of made me want to sit down and write the blog. And then I said, wait a minute, I need to give this live. This is Friday's message. And Sheila says, have a great weekend, y'all. Absolutely. Have a great weekend. Thank you for the love you're receiving from myself and others. And thank you for the love that you're sending to me and to our little girl. I guess there she is, hiding back in the corner. She likes to have her back safe. But thank you for the love that you give to yourself and that you send out to the world. I love you all. See you for moments of joy the next time I post one, hopefully next week. And if not, see you next Friday. Bye. Love you.